I was doing a group reading at his house, but it was for his wife, and it was, girls' night. And he happened to come down to the kitchen and tried to sneak a snack. And then he kind of sat down, and I'm like, who's military? And because immediately I'm pulled, and I brought through 4 of his friends.
Oh, wow.
And this was the first time I ever read a veteran.
Wow.
And I just looked at him, and I'm like, I'll just use a generic name. I said, who's Joe? And he goes, oh my God. So 2 of the friends were killed in action, and 2 died later. And I knew what they were talking about. And I knew, even though he's Army, and all of my experiences, Marine Corps, basically, I still knew, like, they told me what rank he was. And I looked at him, and I was like, oh, you were an E5. I said, because they're showing me 5, and I know, and I know what that is. It's an enlisted rank. It's a sergeant. And he's like, I had never met him before, never even seen him before, never met his wife. And I did a painting for him, and I did the 4 guys, and I thought in my painting, here's 2 guys here, and then there's space, and then there's 2 guys here. And Spirit said, well, you have to do water in between the 2, the 2 sets.
Uh-huh.
Well, one of his friends jumped off a cruise ship while he was still active duty. And I just thought, oh, Spirit, don't make me put water in there. Like, I don't want to bring this trauma into this painting, but if you are telling me that I need to put in the water, I will put in the water. And I heard it again, and it was, put in the water. And I go, oh, please, can I just one more try? And Spirit said, put in the water. It'll be okay. And I'm like, all right. And then I heard blue skies above. And I said, okay, good. There's hope, And with that reading, I have since done others, but these passings can be violent, traumatic, and I can't be this cute little wallflower that can't talk things, to me, if you're walking through hell, because you're walking through hell with these memories, then the least I can do to honor you is to friggin' walk through hell with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put the water in, and I go to leave to take him his painting. This is like a week later after his reading. Excuse me. And I show my husband, and my husband goes, I said, look, here's the 4 guys. And he goes, those are mountains. And I go, no, they're not. They're 4 guys. And he's like, no, those are mountains. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I show my youngest son, because he happened to come home like right as I'm leaving. I said, here's the 4 friends. And he goes, those are mountains. And I go, what's with the mountains? Okay, fine. So I go over, and I give this young man his painting, and I'm explaining. And I said, here's your 4 friends, best friends. I mean, he told me that they slept so close together, excuse me, because they were in a bunk situation, right? So they're shoulder to shoulder sleeping. He goes, you get to be so close, emotionally to these guys, and then to have them die, or one of them went in his place that day.
Oh, wow.
And sat where he should have been sitting. And I was able to say, your friend is telling you, I lived my life's purpose. Now you need to live yours. So there's a lot of healing coming through this day. And now I do the painting. Beautiful. And I take him the painting, and I said, this is what I think. But my son and my husband both said that these are mountains. And he looks at it, and he goes, oh my God. And I got goosebumps, And I'm like, what is it? Are they mountains? And he said he was stationed in Iraq. He said Iraq is totally flat except for where they were stationed. He said, you painted where I was stationed, where I was. And I'm
Wow.
like, what the heck? I mean, to me, this does not look like a beautiful artistic thing, you know? And I said, what? And he said, yeah, Iraq is totally flat except where we were. And he said, there's mountains on one side and there's mountains on the other. I said, okay, then how do you explain the water? Because I didn't want to put in the water. And he goes, the water is key because the water is where the Tigris and the Euphrates come together.
Mm.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? So, and to think, you know, okay, I will never argue with spirit again. You know?
Right?